I thought I was smart. I thought I could see through lies. But when you're lonely enough, you'll believe anything that feels like love. She smiled at me like I mattered, and I gave her everything. Now I'm sitting here in an empty apartment, wondering how I became this kind of fool. The fan spins above me. Same rhythm every night. The smell of pad thai drifts up from the street below my window in Chiang Mai. I can hear the tuk-tuks buzzing past, tourists laughing, life moving forward like nothing happened. But I'm stuck here, stuck in this moment where I finally understand what I refused to see for months. I came to Thailand to disappear. I almost succeeded, just not in the way I planned. This whole memory came rushing back after I opened an email late last night. It was from someone who's been with this channel for a long time. They said they don't usually reach out, but something I'd said in a recent video hit them a little too close to home. They told me about a woman they'd met in Vietnam, how it started with small kindnesses and turned into something that looked like love, until it wasn't. The more I read, the quieter the room felt. Not just because of the words, but because I realized how much of myself I saw in their story. At first I felt this tightness in my chest, like guilt and grief had teamed up. But then, there was something else underneath. A kind of strange comfort, like, maybe we're not all as alone as we think we are. If you're here watching this, do me a favor, hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe if you haven't yet, and let me know where you're watching from. I really mean that. I love hearing from you. To those of you who've stuck around, video after video, you've given me something I didn't even know I needed. A place to be honest. A place to feel heard. Thank you for that, truly. Let me take you back to where it all started. Portland felt like a graveyard by the end. My ex-wife Karen got the house in the divorce 8 years ago. Fine by me. That place held nothing but silence anyway. 28 years of marriage reduced to separate bedrooms and lawyers who charged by the minute. My kids, Sarah and Linda, they were grown by then. They called on birthdays, sometimes Christmas. The calls got shorter every year. I taught high school history for 32 years, loved it once. But somewhere around year 25, I stopped recognizing the faces. They all blurred together. Kids who didn't care about the past, didn't care about anything I had to say. I was just the old guy at the front of the room, counting down to retirement. When I finally retired at 63, everyone asked what I'd do next. Travel, I told them. See the world. Truth was, I just wanted to go somewhere nobody knew my name. Somewhere I could sit in a cafe and not feel like a failure. I sold most of my things, kept 2 suitcases worth of clothes and bought a one-way ticket to Thailand. People said I was brave. I wasn't brave. I was running. But at least I was running towards something that looked like peace. I arrived in Chiang Mai in late September. The rain was still heavy, but I didn't mind. I found a small guest house near Tha Pay Gate, nothing fancy, just clean enough and cheap. $30 a night. The kind of place where expats came to drink beer and pretend they'd found enlightenment. I kept to myself those first few weeks. Walked the old city. Visited temples. Ate street food alone. It was exactly what I wanted. Anonymous. Invisible. Free. Then I met her. Her name was Ploy. I didn't notice her the first few days. She worked the front desk at the guest house, always busy with check-ins or answering phones. But one evening, around sunset, I was sitting in the courtyard with a sing of beer, watching the sky turn orange, and she came over. She had this tray with sliced mango and sticky rice. "You want try?" she asked. "On the house. You stay here long time, I think you lonely." I looked up at her. She was smiling. Not the fake smile service workers give tourists. A real one. Warm. I said, "Sure. Thank you." She sat down across from me. Just like that. Uninvited but not unwelcome. "You from America?" she asked. I nodded. "Portland, Oregon." She lit up. "Oh, I know Portland. Rain all the time, yes?" I laughed. "Yeah, a lot like here actually." She told me her name, Ploy. Said it meant gem in Thai. I told her mine, Martin. She repeated it slowly, like she was tasting the word. "Martin, I like. Strong name." We talked for maybe 20 minutes. Nothing deep. She asked about my day. I asked about hers. She told me she had a daughter, 9 years old, living with her mother up in Eisen, the northeast region. "I miss her so much," she said, and her eyes got a little wet. "But I must work, send money home." I told her I understood. I told her about my students, about teaching. She listened. Really listened. When I made a joke about how bad I was with technology, she laughed. A real laugh. Not polite, genuine. When she stood up to go back to work, she touched my shoulder lightly. "You nice man, Martin. I happy you stay here." I watched her walk away. I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Seen. Like I mattered to someone, even just for a moment. I started timing my evenings to when she'd be at the desk. I'd sit in the courtyard with my beer, pretending to read a book, waiting for her to have a free moment. She always found one. We'd talk about everything and nothing. Her childhood in a farming village, my divorce, her dreams of opening a small restaurant someday, my regret about not traveling sooner. It felt easy with her. Natural. She laughed at my jokes, asked follow-up questions, remembered things I'd mentioned days before. One night, she said, "Why you come Thailand, really?" I thought about lying, but I didn't. "I came here to disappear," I said. She looked at me for a long time. Then she said, "Maybe you come here to find something instead." 3 weeks in, she asked if I wanted to see the night market with her. She had the evening off. I said yes before I even thought about it. We walked through the stalls together, her pointing out things I'd never notice on my own. Little trinkets, street food I'd never heard of. She bought me a mango smoothie. I tried to pay her back. She refused. "You, my friend, Martin. Friend don't pay." She slipped her hand into mine as we walked. It was so natural I almost didn't notice, but I did. And I didn't let go. We started spending more time together. She took me to Doi Suthup, the temple on the mountain. We climbed the 300 stairs together. She told me to make a wish at the top. I wished for this feeling to last. We went to her favorite noodle stall, a tiny place tucked into an alley where the owner knew her by name. The old woman looked at me, looked at Ploy, and said something in Thai. Ploy blushed and waved her off, but she was smiling. I asked what the woman said. "She say you handsome for old man," Ploy said, laughing. I laughed too. I felt young again, lighter. One evening, she introduced me to Lek, her co-worker at the guest house. Lek was younger, quieter. She smiled politely but didn't say much. Ploy and I sat in the courtyard while Lek worked the desk. Ploy leaned her head on my shoulder. "I feel safe with you," she said. "You different from other man. You listen. You kind." I kissed her forehead. I wanted to tell her I was falling for her, but I was scared. Scared she'd laugh, scared she'd pull away. So I just held her. Later that night, back in my room, she cried. Really cried. She told me how hard it was being away from her daughter. How she sent almost all her salary home. How she missed her little girl's voice. How she felt like a bad mother. I held her while she sobbed into my chest. "You not bad mother," I said. "You're doing everything you can." She looked up at me, her eyes red and swollen. "You good man, Martin. You understand me." She kissed me. And I believed every word she said. I wanted to believe her. I needed to believe her. Because in that moment, I felt like I'd found something I thought I'd lost forever. Connection. Purpose. Love. I started thinking this wasn't just a fling. This was real. This was my second chance. The universe giving me something beautiful after years of gray. I pictured staying in Chiang Mai, maybe getting a small apartment, teaching English part-time, building a life here, with her. I was 64 years old, and for the first time in a decade, I felt alive. I should have known better. Derek was the first one to say something. He ran a small cafe near the night bazaar. British guy, mid-50s, been in Thailand for years. I'd go there for coffee sometimes, good coffee. Quiet spot. One afternoon, I was sitting at the counter, and Derek leaned in. "Martin, mate, can I ask you something?" I looked up. "Sure." He glanced around like he didn't want anyone to hear. "That girl you're seeing, Ploy, from the guest house." I nodded. "Yeah, what about her?" He wiped down the counter slowly. "Just be careful, yeah? I've seen this before. A lot. Western guy, Thai girl. Starts sweet, then come the requests. Family emergency. Sick mother. Broken bike. It's a pattern, mate. Not saying she's bad. Just saying don't get too deep, too fast." I felt my chest tighten. I forced a laugh. "Derek, come on. You don't know her like I do. She's not like that." He held up his hands. All right. Just looking out for you. Forget I said anything. But I couldn't forget. His words stuck in my head like a splinter. That night, I met Ploy at her guest house. She was waiting outside, looking beautiful in a simple dress. She smiled when she saw me. Hi Martin, you ready for dinner? I smiled back, but Derek's voice was still there, whispering. We ate at a small restaurant by the river. Everything seemed normal. We talked, we laughed. Then, toward the end of the meal, her smile faded. She got quiet. I asked what was wrong. She looked down at her plate. Martin, I need tell you something. My stomach dropped. What is it? She took a breath. My brother, Niran. He in Bangkok. Work construction. He gets sick. Need medicine, but he have no money. I send money to my mother already this month. I don't know what to do. Her eyes filled with tears. I so sorry to ask. But can you help? Just 15,000 baht. I pay you back, I promise. 15,000 baht. About $400. I had it. I could afford it. But Derek's words were screaming in my head now. I looked at her. She was crying softly, wiping her eyes with a napkin. She looked ashamed, scared. I reached across the table and took her hand. Of course I'll help, I said. You don't have to pay me back. Family is important. Her face lit up. She came around the table and hugged me tight. Thank you, Martin. Thank you so much. You so good to me. I love you. She said it. I love you. My heart swelled. I held her close. Derek was wrong. This was real. I went to the ATM after dinner and gave her the cash. She kissed me. I never forget this, she said. I walked home feeling like a hero, like I'd done something that mattered. But lying in bed that night, I couldn't sleep. Derek's warning kept circling back. I told myself I was being paranoid. I told myself Ploy loved me. But doubt had planted itself deep. 2 weeks later, she asked again. This time it was her daughter's school fees. 8,000 baht. I gave it to her. A week after that, her motorcycle broke down. 12,000 baht. Then her mother needed surgery. 20,000 baht. Every time, she cried. Every time, she promised to pay me back. Every time, I said don't worry about it. I loved her. This is what you do for people you love. You help them. But she started changing. Small things at first. She'd be late to meet me. She'd check her phone constantly when we were together. Her responses got shorter. One night, I texted her asking if she wanted to grab dinner. She replied 3 hours later. Sorry, busy today. Tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow turned into the next day. Then the day after. I started feeling like I was chasing her, like I was annoying her. But when we did meet, she'd be sweet again, affectionate. She'd hold my hand. She'd kiss me. She'd say, I miss you, Martin. And I'd believe her all over again. One evening, I was walking past a 7-Eleven near my apartment. I saw her. She was outside, laughing with some guy on a motorcycle. He was young, Thai, good-looking. She was playful with him, touching his arm, smiling wide. I froze. My chest felt tight. I wanted to walk over, but I didn't. I just watched. After a minute, she climbed onto the back of his bike, and they drove off. I stood there on the sidewalk, feeling sick. That night, I asked her about it, casual. Hey, I thought I saw you near 7-Eleven earlier. You were with someone? She didn't miss a beat. Oh yes. That, my friend. He give me ride home from work. My motorbike's still broken. Remember? I nodded. Right. Of course. She kissed my cheek. You worry too much, Martin. I only love you. I wanted to believe her. I needed to. So I did. But the unease was growing. A sick feeling in my gut that I couldn't shake no matter how much I tried. The money kept flowing out. Every request wrapped in tears and apologies. I didn't say no. I couldn't. Because saying no meant admitting something I wasn't ready to face. That maybe Derek was right. That maybe I was just another lonely foreigner getting played. I checked my bank account one night. I'd given her over 100,000 baht in 6 weeks. Almost $3,000. I stared at the screen. My hands were shaking. I closed the laptop. Then came the day everything fell apart. I decided to surprise her at the guest house. I hadn't seen her in 3 days. She kept saying she was busy with work, with family stuff, with everything except me. I missed her. I wanted to see her smile. I walked into the guesthouse lobby around 2 in the afternoon. Lek was at the desk. When she saw me, her face changed. Uncomfortable. Nervous. "Hi, Martin," she said quietly. "Ploy not here." I frowned. "She's not working today?" Lek looked down. "She not work since Monday." My heart sank. "What do you mean?" "She told me she was working." Lek didn't answer. She just looked away. I stood there for a moment, processing. Then I asked, "Do you know where she is?" Lek hesitated. "I don't know. Maybe her apartment." She wouldn't look at me. I walked out. My chest was pounding. I knew where Ploy lived. She'd mentioned it once, casually, but never invited me over. Said it was small and embarrassing. I walked through the narrow streets, past food carts and laundry hanging from balconies, until I found the building. 3 stories. Concrete. Run down. I climbed the stairs to the 2nd floor. Apartment 2. C. I stood outside the door, my hand shaking. I heard voices inside. A man's voice. Laughing. Then hers. Also laughing. I knocked. The voices stopped. Footsteps. The door opened. A Thai man stood there, young, shirtless, confused. The same guy from the 7-Eleven. "Yeah?" he said in Thai accented English. I didn't say anything. I just stared at him. Then I saw her. Ploy. Standing behind him, eyes wide, face pale. She was wearing a tank top and shorts. Her hair was messy. She looked like she'd just woken up. "Martin," she said softly, "what you doing here?" I still didn't say anything. I couldn't. The man looked back at her, then at me. "Who is this?" he asked in Thai. She said something back. Fast, nervous. He looked at me again, annoyed now. "You need something?" he said. I shook my head. "No," I said quietly. "I think I have everything I need." Ploy pushed past him. "Martin, wait. Let me explain." I turned and started walking toward the stairs. She followed me. "Martin, please. He my ex-boyfriend. He just helping me move some things. It not what you think." I stopped, turned around, looked at her. Really looked at her. "How much of it was real?" I asked. She blinked. "What?" I stepped closer. "How much of it was real, Ploy? Any of it?" Her face crumpled. "Martin, I do care about you. I do. But my life very hard. You don't understand." I laughed, a bitter, hollow sound. "I understand perfectly." I turned and walked down the stairs. She called after me. "Martin, please, don't go like this." I didn't stop. I didn't look back. I walked through the streets in a daze. I don't even remember how I got home. I just remember sitting on the floor of my apartment, staring at the wall. My phone buzzed. Text from Ploy. "I'm sorry. Please let me explain. I do love you." I didn't reply. Another text. "Please, Martin, you mean so much to me." I turned my phone off. The next few days were a blur. I didn't leave my apartment much. I didn't eat. I barely slept. I kept replaying everything in my head. Every smile, every touch, every word. Was any of it real? Or was I just a wallet to her? A lonely old man with money to give and no one to give it to? I checked my bank account again. 200,000 baht. Gone. Almost $6,000 in 3 months. I felt sick. Not because of the money. Because of how easily I'd been fooled. How desperately I'd wanted to believe that someone could love me. My phone rang. I'd turned it back on to check the time. It was Linda, my daughter. I almost didn't answer. But I did. "Hey, Dad," she said. "Just checking in. How's Thailand?" I forced my voice to sound normal. "It's good. Really good." There was a pause. "You sure? You sound tired." I rubbed my face. "Yeah, just been busy, exploring, meeting people." She laughed. "Meeting people? Dad, that's great. I'm glad you're putting yourself out there." I closed my eyes. "Yeah, me too." We talked for a few more minutes. She told me about her job, her boyfriend, her plans for Thanksgiving. I told her I was happy for her. When we hung up, I stared at the ceiling. I realized something in that moment. I'd become exactly the kind of man I used to pity. The guy who falls for the lie because the truth is too lonely to face. A week later, my phone buzzed. A text from Ploy. "Can we talk? Please. I want to explain everything. I miss you." I stared at the message for a long time. Part of me wanted to delete it, block her number, forget she ever existed. But another part of me needed closure, needed to hear her say it. So I texted back, "Okay, where?" She sent me the name of a cafe near the Ping River. "Tomorrow at 3. I said okay. I didn't sleep that night. The next afternoon, I walked to the cafe. It was quiet. A few tourists. Soft music playing. Ploy was already there, sitting at a corner table. She looked different, tired, older somehow. She stood up when she saw me. "Martin, thank you for coming." I sat down across from her. Didn't say anything. She sat back down slowly. "You want something? Coffee?" I shook my head. "Just talk." She took a breath. Her hands were shaking. "Martin, I'm so sorry. I know what you think. I know what it looked like. But please, let me explain." I waited. She continued. "Somchai, he my ex-boyfriend. We together 2 years ago. He leave me when I pregnant. I raise my daughter alone. Then he come back few months ago. Say he wanna help. I tell him no. But he keep coming around. He help me with rent sometimes, with bills. I have no choice." I stared at her. "You had a choice, Ploy. You had me." She looked down. "I know. But you don't understand my life. I must send money to my family. I must pay rent. I must take care of my daughter. It never enough. Never." Her voice cracked. "When I meet you, I think maybe things get better. You so kind. So good to me. I do have feeling for you. Real feeling. But I also need help. I need money. And you give it. So I take it." Tears were running down her face now. "I know that make me bad person. I know. But I desperate, Martin. You don't know what it like." I felt my throat tighten. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to yell. But I just felt empty. "Did you ever love me?" I asked quietly. She reached for my hand. I pulled it away. She looked at me. Her eyes were red. "I care about you. I do. You make me feel safe. You make me laugh. But love?" She looked down again. "I don't know. Maybe if things different. Maybe if I not so scared all the time. Maybe if I not have daughter and family to take care of. Maybe then I could love you way you want." The silence between us was deafening. She reached for my hand again. This time I let her take it. "Please, Martin, don't hate me. I never want to hurt you." I pulled my hand back. I stood up. I reached into my wallet and pulled out 500 baht. I put it on the table. "For your coffee," I said. She looked up at me, her face broken. "Martin, please." I shook my head. "Goodbye, Ploy." I walked out of the cafe. She didn't follow me this time. I walked along the river for a long time. I didn't cry. I didn't feel angry. I just felt tired. So tired. The sun was setting, the sky turning pink and orange. I sat down on a bench and watched the water. I thought about everything. About Karen. About my kids. About teaching. About all the years I'd spent feeling invisible. I came to Thailand to disappear. And for a little while, with Ploy, I thought I'd found something better. But I was wrong. I hadn't found love. I'd found a mirror. A reflection of my own loneliness and desperation. And Ploy had seen it too. She'd known exactly what I needed to hear, what I needed to feel, and I'd given her everything because I was so afraid of being alone. But here's the thing I realized sitting on that bench. I'd been alone the whole time. Even with her hand in mine and her head on my shoulder. I was alone because I was trying to fill a hole that no one else could fill. Not Ploy, not Karen, not even my kids. That hole was mine, and I was the only one who could do anything about it. A few days later, I started feeling sick. My chest hurt. I couldn't breathe right. I thought maybe it was a heart attack. I went to a small clinic near my apartment. The doctor, an older Thai man named Dr. Anasorn, checked me over, took my blood pressure, listened to my heart. After a while, he sat back. "Your heart is fine," he said in careful English. "Physically, you are okay." I frowned. "Then why does my chest hurt?" He looked at me for a long moment. You okay? Inside? I didn't answer right away. Then I told him everything. About Ploy. About the money. About how stupid I'd been. He listened without interrupting. When I finished, he nodded slowly. Sometimes we love people not because they are good for us, he said, but because we need to feel something. Anything. Even pain is better than empty. He leaned forward. You come here to run away, but you cannot run from yourself. You bring yourself everywhere you go. I felt my eyes sting. So what do? He smiled gently. You stop running. You stay. You breathe. You learn to be okay with yourself. Then maybe you find real love, or maybe you don't, but at least you will be okay. I thanked him and left. His words stayed with me. I didn't leave Thailand. I thought about it. Thought about going back to Portland, crawling back to the life I'd left. But I didn't. Instead, I moved to a quieter part of Chiang Mai, away from the old city. Found a small apartment with a balcony overlooking a temple. I started volunteering at a local school, teaching English to kids. Nothing fancy, just helping them with pronunciation, basic conversation. The kids were sweet, curious. They didn't care that I was old or that I'd been a fool. They just wanted to learn. I see Derek sometimes. We have coffee. We don't talk about Ploy. He knows. I know he knows. But he doesn't say anything. Just nods when I walk in, makes my coffee, asks how the teaching is going. It's nice, simple. About 4 months after everything happened, I got an email from Ploy. I saw her name in my inbox. My finger hovered over it. Part of me wanted to read it. Part of me wanted to know what she had to say. But I didn't open it. I just deleted it. I didn't need to know. Whatever she had to say wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't give me back the money, or the time, or the piece of myself I'd lost, so I let it go. I don't hate her. I really don't. I don't even miss her. I just see her clearly now. She was surviving. Doing what she had to do in a world that didn't give her many options. Was it right? No. Did it hurt? Yes. But I understand it now. And I understand myself too. I didn't love Ploy. I loved the idea of not being alone. I loved the feeling of being needed, being wanted, being someone's hero. And she knew that. She saw it in me the first night we talked. That's what made it work. I came here to disappear. And in a way, I did. The old Martin. The one who measured his worth by how much other people needed him. He's gone. What's left is just me. Sitting on my balcony in the evenings, drinking tea, listening to the monks chant at the temple below, teaching kids who call me Teacher Martin and high-five me in the hallways, visiting the night market alone and not feeling lonely, just feeling present. I'm 64 years old. I gave a woman I barely knew $6,000 in 3 months of my life. I thought it was love. It wasn't. But that's okay. Because I learned something more important. I learned that I don't need someone else to make me feel alive. I don't need to be anyone's hero. I don't need to disappear. I just need to be here, present, awake, enough. And you know what? I am. I'm enough. For the first time in years, I actually believe that. Ploy didn't destroy me. She just showed me what I needed to see. That I'd been running from myself for so long I'd forgotten who I was. Now I remember. And I'm still here, still breathing, still moving forward. That's more than I thought I'd have when I bought that one-way ticket. So yeah, I gave her everything. And she gave me lies and regret. But I also gave myself something. A second chance. Not at love. At life. And that's enough.